Good morning, good evening, wherever in the world that you are hearing or receiving this, my first inspiration for 2024, happening the very first week of January. I am out today walking on the first day that there has been sun. I'm feeling the sun on my face right now. And I am called to make the statement and let you know that I am going to be here. I'm going to be here every week, whether I'm coming to you from the forest or wherever else I may be traveling through this year of 2024. I am going to be coming here weekly with what I will solidify into stone now as my inspirations. So I've been spending a lot of time over the past 2 weeks, which have been the time of the holidays, really anchoring in and feeling it all, remembering where I was 5 years ago at this time. 5 years ago at this time was the beginning of, I guess, what you could call my awakening, my shift in my reality. My world became completely different over a very short period of time in 2018, in late 2018. And moving into January, I experienced what I have described as my soul awakening, my spiritual awakening, and the awakening to the gifts that I now have brought into the world, anchor into the world, and work with every day as I'm working with all of you. It was the first time that I was aware that I could communicate with spirit. It's the first time that I learned, what a pendulum was, and not only what a pendulum was, but the fact that it was a very big tool for me to use as the sun's coming out right now in the work that I'm being called or was called, and I'm called now to be doing here with all of you. So I've just been very reflective over the past couple of weeks and receiving a lot of beautiful feedback from so many of the people that I've worked with, either in groups or one-on-ones over the last 2, almost 3 years now that I've been doing this work professionally. And I really just felt that it was time for me to step forward, up and out, as I encourage everyone else to do. And I've been really tuning in with my higher guidance team, my spirit team. I don't talk about it publicly as much as to who I actually work with, but I'm going to start to do that. I'm going to start to share with you some of the inner guidance that I receive and some of the teams of light that I work with, and reflect it back to you so that you can see where I'm getting a lot of the inspirations that I'm getting. So I really wanted to come here to this space, whether you're watching on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or wherever these inspirations will start to appear in your feeds. This is the first of weekly inspirations that I'm going to do starting this first week of January 2024, as the sun's coming in here to give me my courage and my inspiration. We've had probably about 10 days as I sit here on, I think it might be the 5th of January, with no sun. So I have been feeling all the feels, and I wanted to talk about 2 specific things today. Number 1, what the holidays, different periods of time, maybe birthdays, anniversaries, Mother's Days, Valentine's Days, all the days. Sometimes what they do is they can lead us not to feel the heightened emotions of safety, love, family, and comfort. sometimes these holidays or these times, these vacation times we have, or certain times of the year, can actually make us feel melancholy, down, depressed. They can remind us of times, and I was very much reminded this year of this time 5 years ago when I was feeling extremely alone in what I was going through and moving through. My reality looked completely different. And it did bring up a lot of these old emotions, these emotions of fear and feelings of being alone and feelings of overwhelm and not understanding. And it really brought me around again to how far I've come since then. And so moving through it allowed me to realize that I was still holding some of that stuck energy in my body. I was still holding some of the shame emotions, some of the guilt emotions. And moving through my everyday life, I wasn't aware, or I wasn't realizing that I was still carrying those emotions. So even someone like me who does this work, is doing this work every single day and working with so many beautiful people to help them also clear stuck emotions, move through trauma, move through difficult times, move through evolution. Moving through it is the process. So what I really learned over this last couple of days, even weeks, since the holidays have begun, is that no matter how much we're working on it, no matter how much we are aware of it, we still need to process unresolved pain, unresolved emotions, things that are holding us back. And the first thing that we need to do is not be in resistance, and not be in resistance to feeling those feelings. So whether or not you are resonating with this information that I'm sharing right now, this time in my life when it was very uncertain, there was a lot of financial anxiety. There was anxiety about the work that I could do in the world. There was an anxiety around how I was going to even maintain my household. Of course, care for my children. What I want to say is that time felt insurmountable. It felt so low and so scary, and yet it has, on the other side, birthed something miraculous. And on the other side of it, even though I can still feel those emotions and I have them, I am grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful for who I've become, the work I'm here to do in the world, meeting all of you. And I also want you to know that I understand, and that I very much see, as I work with my guides and I get information around what's happening in the world sort of before it does, and then I energetically feel still as a trigger a lot of the emotions that many of you may be feeling right now. Uncertainty, fear, maybe scarcity. A lot of people are moving through very, very big transformation at this time. And we're going through it individually. Many people are moving through relationship changes, job loss, job changes, and many are experiencing just a lot of transformation. And so I want you to know that you're not alone, and that it does get better, and that the only tool that you need to move through this is to trust the process, to trust that everything is happening for you in divine time, and to trust that you can trust yourself. The other big piece of advice that I need to share with you, any of you who may be going through their big transformations at this time, or maybe those of you that are feeling tired because it feels that you've been moving through these transformations for a long time, my advice back to you is that the only thing that you need to know is how to trust yourself. Number one. Number two, you need to know that the light will never be aggressive. Now, let me explain that. That was one of the biggest tools, pieces of information I received in my early days as I was unfolding and unwrapping and understanding my connection to the spirit world and my changing reality that was nothing like what I had always known. And for you, that may not be a spiritual awakening. That may be a major life transformation, changes in relationships, fear around jobs or scarcity, and even just a general sort of fear around or overwhelm around what may be happening collectively in the planet. You know, there's a lot of things going on. So what I want to leave you with today, and today's first inspiration, is that you can always trust yourself. You just need to find yourself. The light will never be aggressive. So if it is a thought, even in your own mind, that says something like, you're not good enough, or you won't make it past this, or you will never find someone else, or you're not worthy to have this or this in your life, I can tell you right now, from so much experience, that thought is not yours. So practice this week. This is your inspiration for this week. Being the observer of your own thoughts. Now, expect some of those thoughts to come in. However, once you become the observer of it and you shift to look at yourself from an outside in, and you realize that thought is actually just energy and it's not yours and it's not real. Once you are the observer of that thought, even if you happen to be going through really, really traumatic experiences right now and shifts, I want you to know that everything is happening for you in divine time. And it is okay to feel the emotions that you're feeling. But what you need to do is recognize it and recognize it as just energy. And so when you take that moment and you say to that thought or that feeling or that emotion, let's call it fear. Fear. I feel you. And actually take a moment to feel that fear in your body. Remembering what I told you here, that fear is just an emotion. It's just an energy. And I want you to know how powerful you are to shift that energy. I want you to remember how powerful you are to shift that energy. So just do it with me right now. So sub in your emotion, fear, shame, overwhelm, whatever it may be. Loneliness, victimhood, whether it's a thought like nothing's ever going to change, whether it's an emotion of anger, just tune into what it is for you. Do this simple exercise. Breathe, tune into your heart, and find that emotion in your body. Where is it living? Where is it living? Is it in your chest? Is it in your gut? Is it in your throat? Just humor me. Once you find that emotion, that feeling, that sentence, that is a low vibration emotion, it's not serving you, I want you to say, hello, fear. Hello, fear, my old friend. I see that you're here to show me that you're still here. Thank you for showing me. Now I would like you to leave my bodies and fields. You're not my truth anymore. And then bring yourself into this now moment. Even if what is happening in your life is happening now and it is not a reflection of a past trauma or a past trigger, take a moment, feel that fear or that guilt or whatever that emotion is. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and actually just release it above you. Just as simple as that. Keep doing that until you have actually felt relief in your chest or your stomach or your back, wherever it is you're feeling it. Then I want you to imagine the opposite emotion. So the opposite to fear is trust, faith, right? Surrender. Take that moment now and bring in the opposite. Let's do faith. Faith that everything is happening for you in divine time. Maybe you've just stumbled upon this video and this is exactly what you needed to see or hear. Maybe you got up to go for a walk and the sun came out after 10 days. Maybe you're finally feeling better from being sick. Maybe you're excited about what is to come in your life or the changes that are coming quickly. Just replace that fear or that guilt or that shame with the opposite. Anchor it into the same place in your body and trust. Now, take a moment and just feel how you have shifted. Just in this one small exercise. So, lesson number 1, first week of January. This, my friends, is alchemy. You have just alchemized a lower vibration emotion up and out, and you have replaced it with something else, something better, something that is not dark and traumatic and is not going to lower your overall vibration. So whether it is things that you're moving through now currently or have moved through in their past, I invite you in this week's inspiration to just take some time this week, move through these exercises, be the observer of yourself, and trust that if it's a low vibrational thought, feeling, pattern, or emotion, it is not serving you, and it is coming back to invite you to lift it up and out. I invite you also to join me here on YouTube or Facebook. Every week I am going to show up with a weekly inspiration. I will likely be tuning into guidance through many of these talks that I am committing to doing throughout the year. And I want to wish all of you a beautiful January. I want to wish all of you a beautiful 2024 year ahead. This is the year where we bring in inspired action. We have done so much healing collectively, and it is time now to bring in the new ways of being you, the new ways of being human, the new ways of working with the divine light that we all have access to. So from my heart to yours, I will see you every week. I commit throughout this year, and we will work every week on inspirations and new ways to transmute energy, to understand our reality, and to come together as community. Lots of love from me to you until next week. Bye for now.